What's up, crypto geeks? Back with another exciting video in this blood red market. But don't worry, make sure you have your diamond hands in use. Don't lose out last minute. So today, I'm going to talk about a couple of things. I'll start by talking about what the document that was finally released by the court. And guess what? They have decided on the MOUs, and the court's decision is that the SEC can continue to use MOUs. Now, I know everybody was panicking as if this is a big loss for Ripple, but reality is it's not. Actually, this is a bit of an advantage for Ripple. Keep in mind, and this is what I want you to think, the SEC was using this and has been using this from the very, very beginning. And if this was going to make a huge difference for the case, then we would have seen that early on. It's not like right now the court give them consent to do it, give them permission to do it. They have been doing it. It's just the court was going to see if they were going to block them, and it didn't. The advantage that Ripple got out of this is now they get to see exactly every single document that the SEC gets through those MOUs. So SEC will have to be very cautious in the wording that they're using. What Ripple was afraid of, and I'll even pull up a tweet here, afraid of was not that they were using MOUs, but that they were using MOUs to try and scare off potential investors in Ripple, and investors that would use that XRP currency. So they were worried about that. But now that the SEC is being forced to show those documents, they can't use any sort of language, if you want to call it that, or any way of scaring those entities that Ripple is trying to seek. So this is actually a bit of an advantage for Ripple. And the other thing, keep in mind that this could actually prove to the SEC and to the judge that there's a lot of utility to XRP outside of the United States. In fact, the documentation of what the SEC had sent to the rest of the world requesting documents could in itself provide some sort of evidence for this case. So if, for example, the SEC requested a document from a particular country and the country's return was, yeah, here's the document, and this document goes to show that XRP has utility, that it's being used as a currency, and the judge will now look at that because it'll become part of the evidence and the documentation. This could, in essence, provide a positive vision, a positive view of XRP. It's not necessarily a negative. I think what made some people see this as a negative is that we were hoping that the judge would just completely side with Ripple and just grant them their wishes. But at the end of the day, again, what you need to focus on is that SEC was using this. They're not going to get anything from this that they hadn't already gotten. All of the paperwork that was requested was already requested. And now the SEC will have to show this to the rest of the world and show it in court. And I want to talk a little bit about the red market. And I want to talk about how this seemingly bloodbath of redness in all crypto is not as bad as it's made to sound. And I'll give you a very simple example. When I got into XRP, and I didn't even get in that long ago. I got in, I believe it was only a couple of months ago, maybe 3-4 months, 5 maybe. But I got in at about 30 or 40 cents. And today, with it being 30% down, it's at $1.15. Same thing goes for Cardano. When I got into Cardano, it was about 40 cents or 45, and then I got in again at 80 cents. And yes, it's gone down, but I mean, compared to 4 months ago, I've doubled. More than doubled. Both of them. So it's red. But this is not the end all be all. And the only thing this is doing actually is clearing the market from those that, to be honest, we're never going to make money. Let's think of it really here. I remember when I started in stocks a while back, I lost so much money, because what? I would see a currency going down and I see it drop quickly and I would sell. And the moment I would sell it, have a little bit of a jump, and I would think to myself, okay, this is going back on an up spike. And then I would buy. And then it would drop a little bit. And then I would sell. And you know what happened? All it did was shrink the amount of stock that I would have. So the first time I'd be able to buy, let's say 10,000, then I'd sell, and then when I want to go back to buying in, I'm able only to buy 8,000, and that I lost a lot of money because of that. And I look back at it now, and I look at at what the prices of the stocks that I had, and I just wish I would have held. I wish I would have not even looked at it and just let it sit there, because it's like 10 times what it was. And this is what needs to happen. And you know what? Let the market clear, because we don't want those sorts of people that will just, with every little fluctuation in the market, give in. You want people that will hold. And we hold because we see the true value of what XRP offers, and the true value of, if you're an ADA fan, what ADA offers. And same thing goes for Bitcoin. And you know what? People that say this is the end of the bull market and now it's a bear market are completely out of their mind. It's like saying that because Bitcoin dropped during COVID that was the end of the bull market, or because all of the Cardano or whatever dropped, then that was the end. It's not. Remember, the bull market now is not like the bull market that it was in 2018. Everything's changed. The market capital's changed. And one last thing I'm going to bring up, and I've brought this up a couple of times when I've was discussing this with other crypto analyzers, is cryptocurrency will never be on a complete decline. There might be drops and dips and so on, but they'll never be on a complete decline until, or even stabilize. They'll never stay at the same price until something happens. And that something is, it becomes a full-on currency. And when I say a full-on, it is already a currency. What I mean by a full-on currency is a currency that you can buy everything with. And this is the most important aspect, the market capital becomes huge. So when you talk about 100 trillion or 10 trillion or whatever, big numbers, it becomes really hard to change that number with a couple of $1 billion fluctuations. But because, relatively speaking, compared to the cash or the currency that's being used now, US dollar or whatever, this is a relatively small market, not a tiny market anymore. It was a tiny market, it's not anymore, but it's a relatively small market. But once the market becomes big, and it's going to become huge. And we're seeing this with a lot of the news that's coming out today, the Egyptian National Bank and the UAE National Bank, and before that it was the United Kingdom, and before that it was all over the world. Banks are starting to embrace this digital currency. Once they completely embrace it and it becomes part of their daily used currency, you're going to see the market capital just skyrocket. You can imagine a currency like XRP becoming the transfer currency between banks. How much money does a bank transfer between countries or between people in a day? We're not talking billions here. We're talking trillions a day. So once that becomes the actual currency, then these $1 billion changes in market fluctuations between it going from ADA to XRP or from Bitcoin to Ethereum and so on start to mean nothing unless somebody with $1 trillion starts to play around with the market, which doesn't exist yet. So keep that in mind. This is a big picture vision. Cryptocurrency has always been a big picture vision. And people that sold at the beginning of COVID because they thought that the market was done have lost a ton. have, it's unbelievable. And those that held saw it going up 5 times in a matter of months. So if we're seeing it go down a little bit in a matter of weeks, why are we complaining? Just hold on to your cryptocurrency. If you need to close the computer and not look at those charts, then do it. But all you're doing right now by selling is shorting yourself. And I guarantee you 100%, that everybody that's sold is going to, in part, keep an eye on the market. And again, I guarantee you that once they see the market going up, they're going to go back in. But you know what? If they had invested $5,000, that $5,000 is going to get them what $1,000 would get them now. So just keep your eyes open. I'm trying to give you the best advice I can. And it's not just because I'm supporting XRP or I want XRP to fly. It will fly with or without whoever has sold or not. But I'm telling you so that you, like myself, end up with great profits. And I don't care if XRP goes under $1, because you know what? Cardano went to $1.05 yesterday. And you know what happened in what, 2 hours, 3 hours? It went up to $1.60. XRP went under $1. And guess what? A little bit after it was $1.20. Binance in the 200s. And then a couple hours later, it went back to 380. Bitcoin reached in, what, it was low 30s or high 20s. And a little bit after that, a couple hours, it reached 40,000. So guess what? There's people manipulating, and there's people that lost. Look at this. Did you see this jump to 43,000? This is live. This is live, guys. I wish you were paying attention to Bitcoin. If not, and there it goes. So these fluctuations, somebody's playing. I mean, people lost $10,000 in a matter of 2 hours because they couldn't wait, or even less. People lost insane money because of the lack of patience. And this is what this is meant to do, is clear out the weak hands. And once there's no weak hands, it can only go up. And the weak hands will re-enter. And they'll make the market boost. And then it'll drop a little bit. And then we'll get rid of them. So don't worry, guys. Please make sure you click that like button, you subscribe, and you share your comments with how low you think this market is going to go before it just skyrockets. All right, leave that in the comment section. Share this on your Twitter. We need to make sure that the crypto community is informed. I think that's where there is a bit of a lack. We need to make sure everybody's informed. And, follow me. Make sure you click, again, that like button, you subscribe. And if you're really eager, join my Patreon. Day-to-day updates on there. Make sure I let you know before anybody else. Okay? Enjoy this video. Thanks. Bye.